Good evening. This regular meeting of October 9th, 2017 of the Dubuque Community School Board of Education is called to order. Our mission is to develop world-class learners and citizens of character in a safe and inclusive learning community. Roll call, please.
Mr. Barton.
Here.
Ms. Bradley.
Here.
Mr. Donahue. Mr. Prohaska.
Here.
Ms. Ryan.
Here.
Mr. Sansey.
Here.
Ms. Whitman.
Here. We have a group from Table Mound to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. If you want to come forward and introduce yourselves.
My name's Cameron and I'm in 3rd grade.
My name's Kira and I'm in 4th grade.
My name is Bodie and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Carter and I'm in 2nd grade.
My name is Willa and I'm in 1st grade.
My name is Briella and I'm in 2nd grade.
My name's Sophia and I'm in 2nd grade.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
That was really good. Wow, something else. They got a round of applause. Somebody had to do it.
They were told they'd get clapped.
I move that the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted. Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the agenda as submitted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the organizational meeting on September 18th, 2017 as submitted.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the minutes of the organizational meeting on September 18th, 2017 as submitted. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we are now on to board salutes. Mr. Prohaska.
Yes, I have a board salute. Congratulations to two of our student athletes on some recent accomplishments. First, a Hempstead High School student, Joey Casebauer. Joey was the only student from the district to qualify for the state golf tournament. Congratulations on a great season and for representing us at state. And secondly, Dubuque Senior High School football player Sam Schnee. This weekend, Sam broke Jamie Murphy's rushing record and now takes his place in school history as the current school record holder for yards rushing, I believe. Well, congratulations to both Joey and Sam on a job well done.
Great, thank you.
I have a board salute. We would like to congratulate the Dubuque Senior High School and Hempstead High School marching bands. Each band received a Division I rating at the state marching band competition this past weekend. These students spend countless hours preparing for the events and competitions, and we are proud of their excellent musicianship and know that they represent our district well.
And I have a board salute.
Yes.
I would like to take a salute to the principals and assistant principals in the district as we celebrate National Principal Month. You know, our principals across the district are true professionals who are fully dedicated to the students and staff, advocating on their behalf and working to ensure that our schools are vibrant, safe, and a caring learning place. When principals retire, we often hear stories of their sacrifices that they quietly make throughout the building. They feel great responsibility for the hundreds of thousands of students in their career. Today, we say thank you to all of our principals and remind them that their work doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you to all the principals and assistant principals in our district.
Great, thank you.
And I have a board salute for Chris Hall and the Transportation Department. If any of our viewers are aware that the games for Friday night had to be shifted to Saturday, we can all imagine the number of behind-the-scene things that were going on with that. But our Transportation Department certainly rose to the occasion, did a magnificent job of making arrangements for the buses to make those games possible on Saturday at the same time as they were involved with the marching band competition and taking our students to that. That's a magnificent example of going above and beyond when it comes to helping our students have every opportunity for their activities to go on in spite of odds. So we say bravo and thank you to the Chris Hallman Transportation Department.
We do, thank you. All right.
I move that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education suspend the rules of order and go into open forum. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anybody wishing to address the board at this time?
I move that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education reinstate the rules of order and return to regular session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve those items listed in the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone wishing to have anything pulled? I forgot that part. All right. Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, we just are clicking along. Okay, facilities and support services.
Yeah. I move that the Board of Education approve change order number 10 to Conlin Construction on the senior high school renovation project in the increased amount of $47,831.18.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve change order number 10 to Conlin Construction on the senior high school renovation project in the increased amount of $47,831.18. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, that was a summary of a bunch of different items that had come together to add up to that amount. Mostly stuff over the summer. As things come up, they just add up, and ultimately it became a $47,000 change order.
I guess I'd add one thing there, just for those watching on TV at home, that those change orders are discussed at great length in our support services meeting with explanation from whether it's the architects or construction management, whomever, so that there's a great understanding at the board level and administrative level why those changes are needed. So it goes quickly here. Subcommittee meetings is where the lengthy discussion takes place.
And if I might add also, some of those are unforeseen things that come up, structural things, drainage issues, et cetera. So they were unforeseen in the original project.
Great. Anything else? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education authorize FRK architects and engineers to proceed into the construction document phase for the pool replacement project.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education authorize FRK architects and engineers to proceed in the construction document phase for the pool replacement project.
And we have Rochelle Hines here from FRK Architects who'd like to speak.
Okay, thank you so much for having me here tonight. Get this projector going here. Should be going.
Oh, no, it's gone.
It'll be on there.
There we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, thought I would run you through some of the updates on the pool addition at Hempstead High School. Get started with the floor plan. Some major changes and significant changes in the floor plan is the pool was increased by 15 feet, so is now a 75 by 125 foot pool, accommodating 8 lanes for racing. As well, on top of that, with that change, there were some changes to the mechanical equipment required and also egress. So if you see my pointer on the screen here, the increased size came over here where we have a mechanical room above this area, which we now have electrical room here, and then also a storage room area off of the wet classroom. And then we had to add this stairway here for egress out of the pool due to a larger footprint and increased occupants to exit the area. Also on this floor, we are making modifications and adjustments to the dressing rooms here to accommodate the request for the partnership that you guys are working with on that addition. And we will be making those changes and working continually to work with your facility committee on that one as well.
So the idea with those are not to be full-blown locker rooms for those who aren't on the committee, but changing rooms, which really facilitates dash or maybe just swim, smaller groups using that without having to access the larger building and the larger dressing room or locker rooms in case we have a basketball game or something else going on. So.
Right, so the idea behind the pool, and we'll continue to work with the district on this, is to make it isolated from the remainder of the school so that it's able to be secure, so it can be used independently outside of school hours with your partnership or other facility needs with that. So that has toilets and showers in it as well for those purposes. We are continuing to work, and you can see we've started to show some of the pump equipment and pool mechanical needs that are required. We're working with our consultant, Councilman Huckenser, on that, and working through the placement of the CO2 tank as well, so it can be filled in bulk as needed by the district, so it doesn't have to be hauled in. On the second floor, pretty similar to what we've seen before, what you guys have seen before. The only adjustment was the larger mechanical room here, and then also this corridor we added several display cases that will give the ability for you guys to showcase any trophies or anything affiliated with the pool area, which will be great because you guys filled those right up in your other and off of your gym area, so it'll be a nice addition there. Do them kind of similar as well, the aesthetic of that. The seating area here seats a little over 300 people with the ability to have expansion either within this project or in the future. We can discuss those further with the facilities group, but there is the ability to add that. And we've also taken into account the sight lines from those bleachers, so there won't be any obstructed views. Along with that, we're proposing a glass handrail, and you can see that a little bit more in these renderings here of the interior. This is from the upstairs lobby area. As you enter into the pool, you got a great expansive view of the pool area when you come in, and then you can also see the seating there off to the left, and then this large pool with 8 lanes being used on the north end. The pool will be able to be used on all ends as well. Anchors for starting blocks will be on all ends. Another view from the pool deck, you're looking up into the seating area there, and you can see where we were standing before in that lobby space, and the bleacher seats as well there. So the exterior, we also worked with the facilities committee to develop these exterior images here, and they are going to be using very similar materials that you already have on your building, making the addition seem seamless. We don't want it to stand out. We want it to be a part of it. We want it to look like it was a part of the school the whole time. So using the similar coloring and textures as well on those. You can see a couple different exterior images there as well from the other end. We're also working with the site with our consultant for civil to make sure that there's enough laydown room, but also enough parking for you guys, and make sure we work those parking logistics out. I know you guys have had that on your previous projects, so we'll make sure we include that as well.
We're parking experts.
We'll make sure we get that included as well. So kind of to go through the cost estimate here for you. Really the addition here, with adding that 15-foot addition, it will be the construction costs are set at $7,621,325, with soft costs included, and that includes commissioning fees, surveys, those kind of elements, FF&E, at $8,273,818.
As you remember, we had initially allocated $7 million. We increased that to 7.2, and then now collaboration with Dash will raise the additional $1 million to make that 15 feet wider so that it can swim cross course.
Correct.
Makes it a very budget-friendly and a fantastic project for not only the district but others who will use it as well.
And as far as schedule, we're on schedule to have bid documents out by the end of February, early March. So then I know we were working with the facilities committee as well to work on when that construction actually begins. But that is when we would send the documents out for bidding at that time. So we're still on track for schedule on that. Any questions or anything else?
I'd just like to comment that, finally after, I don't know, talking about this for 5 or 6 years, that finally we're moving in a direction of completion. I think the location's very good. The committee's been working on it very diligently. We have good input from our coaches, and our architects have done a great job, in my estimation, as far as being congenial to the committee. And overall, it's going to be a great project. And I'm glad to see that that we can accommodate and make the facility useful for other members of the community, just in addition to our school district, although it is primarily our school district pool.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good pictures. Any other comments or questions? Okay. We have a motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve amendment number 1 with IIWPC on the Jefferson roof replacement project in the amount of $4,000.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve amendment number 1 with IIWPC on the Jefferson roof replacement project in the amount of $4,000. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the 2016-17 internal control policies and procedures report.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the 2016-17 internal control policies and procedures report. Is there any discussion? You want to report, Mr. Kelleher?
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Ryan Gans. This report, which is in your packet, is a request from our auditors several years ago that they would ask us to, we have internal controls, but they asked us to test those internal controls periodically throughout the year. So this document is really a recap of those tests of the controls and how they turned out. So they ask us to present that to you for your approval, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. There are a couple that I want to bring your attention to, and the first one is on page 93 of your packet. It's Control 1H. It had to do with, and this was a new one for this year, and I won't do it every year, I'll just do it periodically, but what I did is send out a letter to all the financial institutions in the Dubuque area, asking them 3 questions, really. Do you have accounts with our federal ID number? Do you have accounts with our school names? Or do you have accounts with our school addresses? Great news is no one had it with our federal ID number, which is what I expected. But there were a couple of parent organizations that had account names that made it look like they were district accounts. So working with the principals and those organizations, we had them change those names. So if someone were to see a bank statement, it would not look like it's district-controlled money. It's truly the parent's organization. So that was one test that we did. And then another one is for the new board members. We do a fixed asset, look at every building on a 4-year basis. We ask the buildings to go through and count all their fixed assets, do a physical test. And this is a result of the test is there's some things specifically with the IT area that we're trying to shore up and make a little stronger. And with Kobe's work and the improvement of technology in recent years, we've been able to put a lot of those things into a specific document where he's able to track those and record those. So that is also reviewed and approved for you guys to look at.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Kelleher? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education approve the quarterly budget report.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the quarterly budget report.
Okay, it's
Discussion.
that time of year again.
Yep.
Couple things I want to bring to your attention. Page 98 of your board packet. It lists all the different funds and the total expenditures and budgets One I want to bring to your attention to is the general fund. You see an approximate total budget of $132 million for this year. We will not spend that amount of money. We usually have carryovers year after year, so we won't just feel good. We're not going to spend $132 million, but we are going to tighten these down and get a better approximation of where we think we'll end up at the end of the year. We've had the ability, now that we've had our September payroll, we're able to put into the system the remaining balances for salaries and benefits to calculate for the full year. So now that we have those numbers, we're going to take a look at this at a little more detail to come out where we think we'll end up at the end of the fiscal year. Next one I want you to look at
Is that next month that we'll look at ending balance from last year and projections for ending this year?
You're correct. We'll look at that in November. Yep. Fund 22. If you were looking at this, you would say, wow, you have only 6.9% of the budget left, and it's September 30th. How could that happen? Well, in the management fund, we have to pay our insurance premium in July, and we also pay the early retirements for teachers from the previous year and other staff that are retired in July. So that takes up a huge chunk right in the beginning of the school year. The insurance premium is about $1.5 million. So that all comes out right away in July. So that's why this budget doesn't look like there's very much remaining. What we'll have to pay yet is health benefits for retirees throughout the rest of the year. Any questions on that? Then the last item I want you to take a look at is on page 105 of your packet, and it is the total general fund revenue. Has budget amount as well as year-to-date, and you see the budget balance or percent remaining, or percent I should say, of what we collected is at 14.23%. Now you'll say we're 3 months through the year, why is that not approximately 25%? The reason for that is two things mainly. One is our state aid payment, which is about $6.7 million a month, a little higher than that. That doesn't start until the month of September. We only receive 10 payments. So they start that in September, and we'll receive those through June. So we didn't receive anything in July and August. Second big thing is property taxes. The big month for collection of property taxes is October and April. So that number is not in here either. So I'm not concerned that we've only collected 14% so far of the year because we have two big payments coming in October. And the state aid will come in throughout the rest of the year. Any questions on those things? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And we can go right on to reports of education policy programs.
I will update on our Educational Policy Strategy Committee. As you know, we have Anytime, Anywhere Learning Initiative. That was the beginning of 9th grader students getting laptops. So a student help desk has been formed at the two high schools, and currently Senior has 6 students, Hempstead has 11. They are involved here to help with the students, help them with their laptops, and it is also a credit-bearing independent study course for 1 period a day for these students. So not only are our 9th graders taking advantage of the laptops, but our older students are helping guide these kids and getting credit for it. David Olson, Director of Secondary Education, touched a little bit on financial literacy, and a committee is being formed to explore the possibilities of integrating more of that into our curriculum. We went over some policy updates and changes, and Superintendent Rygans had a chance to meet, along with other UEN superintendents, met with Governor Reynolds. And they talked a lot of things, including the extension of the statewide sales tax to the districts. Great, so that's the highlights.
Thank you. New business. Somebody gonna make some motions under new business?
I move that the Board of Education approve the 2017-2018 board committees as submitted.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education approve the 2017-18 board committees as submitted. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
I move that the Board of Education take no further disciplinary action related to students number 803671 and number 816751 at this time.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the Board of Education take no further disciplinary action related to students 803671 and number 816751 at this time. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. All right, we are down to any board member or administrative issues. Anybody have?
We have the strategic planning session, is that November 8th?
So two quick updates.
Ninth.
Yeah.
9th, right?
We have, so just so folks don't think that this is only this is a typical board meeting. This is obviously much quicker than most of them, but we have a couple of lengthy ones coming up. October 23rd, we'll do the priority initiative, which kind of updates the board on where we're at with movement towards completion of our strategic plan for the 17-18 school year. And then November 9th, from 11:30 to 3:30, we will do a board work session to really talk about board issues, and especially with new members' priorities, and continue to sort of formulate the new strategic plan, because that sunsets sometime this year, December, January, something like that.
That's great. Anything else? All right, we are adjourned.